Well, good, happy Wednesday. Here we are for our April Teacher of the Month announcement, our Teacher of the Year program for Katy Country and Mad Rock, of course, brought to you by Night Furniture and Mattress, Pediatric Dentistry of Sherman, and Parkway Buick GMC. I am Big Dave from Mad Rock 1025, and Zach Grantham is here as well from Katy Country. And since I get to do the introduction of all of our fantastic sponsors from here in the Night Furniture studio here of the Mad Rock Studios in Sherman, I'm going to let you introduce our teacher and bring her back up on screen here.
Yes, so we're very excited. We're getting to the end of the school year, and which means we're getting so close to that Teacher of the Year announcement, which we'll have in the middle to later part of the month of May. But before we get there, though, we need to introduce our April Teacher of the Month from Sherman ISD. Ladies and gentlemen, home of those Bearcats, we have Crystal Tumbleson. How are you today, Crystal?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
We are fantastic, and congratulations to you on winning the April Teacher of the Month award. Now, when you first got the email from me, did you think it was like a spam thing, or did you immediately go, oh my goodness, I won?
A little embarrassed at first. I didn't think it was spam because I've heard of the Teacher of the Year program, but I was just embarrassed.
Really? Why were you embarrassed?
Well, it's hard to toot your own horn sometimes.
Yeah.
No, it's not. We're good at that now, but we're used to that. See, we do that every day, all day. But we need to toot your horn because you are a special education teacher at Sherman High School. So talk a little bit about being a special education teacher. It's something that both Zach and I are very familiar with for different reasons. But I mean, it takes I've always said, I'm married to a special education teacher, so it takes a special person to be married to a guy like me. It takes a special education teacher because you have more patience than any other people I know, special education teachers.
Yes. My husband says the same thing, that I gave him, or he gave me all my experience before I ever started teaching. I love it. Every single day, I always say I could not teach neurotypical kids. That's not my place. My place is in the special education classroom. And I have seen you, Mr. Grantham, at Special Olympics. So
yes, I'm the short, bald guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's near and dear to my heart, as you know. But what makes you want to get into something like that? Is it something that maybe you were a part of, or maybe somebody that was close to you that dealt with being in special education that brought you to it? Something that made you go, yeah, I want to do that as a career.
A little bit of, I was a military wife. My husband was a Marine Corps, so we moved around. So the jobs I could get were classroom assistants. And I started in a kindergarten class with neurotypical kids, and I really loved it. When we finally got to a landing spot that we were going to be at for a while, I started working at a special education preschool. And I thought, oh, this is where I need to be, not just in a kindergarten class. This is where I need to be. But then through circumstances, I ended up being transferred to an autism class in that district. And then I figured out that this is my happy place. This is where I belong. These are my kids. And from there, it just developed into I realized I was good at handling the kids with behaviors. I was good with being very patient and waiting them out. I was good with forcing communication. Forcing is kind of a rough word, but sometimes that's exactly what you're doing. You're making them tell you what's wrong so that then you can get to the bottom of the problem and help them come up with a solution that makes it work for them and you. So once I landed in that class, I spent 8 years there and I loved every minute of it. And when he retired and we moved, I instantly started looking for another special education class.
So awesome. So the question I have for you is, because whenever I was reading the information that Zach provided to me, whenever you were nominated and selected as our April teacher, I immediately saw the acronyms on my, the R, the IEPs, all that stuff immediately. Yes. As a husband of somebody who deals with this. And special education, for people who don't know, I mean, it's a huge umbrella. So yes. There at Sherman High School, do you have a certain classroom, a certain specialization under the special ed umbrella, or do you just teach the general special ed?
Most of my kids have autism. Not all. Yeah. Some are in my class because they just need structured education. That is my official title. I am a structured learning classroom. And so everything is done exactly the same way every day. We live in a token economy. So they do 5 tasks, they get a reward, they get a break. If they need a break before their 5 task is, they have certain verbiage, certain phrases that they need to say, and then they can take their break and come back to their work. But yes, we do IEPs, individual education plans. We do annual review and dismissal meetings, all those things. And I live in an ABA world, which is the token economy, applied behavioral analysis. I figure out, or I try to figure out, what's causing our behaviors if we're having behaviors. And let's figure out what's happening there so then we can figure out what need it's meeting. And let's see if we can get that need met before the behaviors happen. So if I have someone doing attention-seeking behavior, I'm going to give him attention before the behavior so I can kind of lessen the behavior.
So
now, I know you said you don't like to toot your own horn or anything like that, but, talk about, I know y'all are a close-knit group of folks over Sherman ISD, especially the special education department. So kind of talk about some of the folks you got working around you.
Oh, well, in my classroom, I have 3 amazing classroom assistants, Joyce Helmer, April Hestand, and Barbara Thomas. Next door to me, I have Laura Sandiford. She's in life skills and her amazing aides. And upstairs is Nicole Walling and Ramona Danes, and they do a higher level special education. And we all work collaboratively together. Miss Danes, Miss Walling, and I share students. So some of my kids are down here with me for personal social skills, personal academic skills, and then they go upstairs for academics. And we're lucky that we also talk to and communicate with the middle school. So before the kids ever come up to me, we're coming up with plans on how to make that transition easier for them, what kind of behaviors they're seeing in the middle school, what they think those behaviors are from, and what kind of academics those kids are capable of, and where do they think they can go. So we talk all the time, and we have a new amazing director of special education, Dr. Schur, who's providing us with curriculum and new opportunities. And she has plans for growth in the district. And she is putting it out there and encouraging us to grow in our classrooms. We're very, very lucky. And we're very, very blessed. Our diagnostician, diags here at the high school.
That's what my wife does. She's a diag. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So those women here at the high school, Miss Holder and Miss Lazenby, are amazing. And I couldn't do what I do if they weren't there answering my questions or, helping me or supporting me or listening to my suggestions. Like, all these people make a great team. And I'm very lucky and blessed.
Well, we normally tell folks off our online interview who nominated you, but somebody by the name you just mentioned, Dr. Schur, may have been the person that nominated you. So you may want to give her a call after this and just say thank you.
Oh, I really thought it was Joyce Helmer. I've been bugging her since I got the email. What'd you say? I don't know what to live up to. What did you say?
Yeah.
So the interesting thing about this whole is like being listening to the diagnostician life of what my wife goes through and all that stuff. My initial thought, other than having those acronyms go through my mind, was if she teaches in a special education classroom in any form, my initial thought was we need to interview her as quickly as possible, because most of those kids, as you were talking about, they like the routine, they like the consistency. And here we are pulling you out of your classroom. And so in the back of my mind right now, I have my wife's voice screaming at me of, let's wrap this up so she can get back to her kids, and I don't want to. Yeah. So if you say it's okay to keep talking, we'll keep talking. But I know, you know better than anybody. But I don't want to keep yapping here, and you need to get back to your kids.
Like I said, I have amazing staff in my classroom. So they took the kids out for a walk. They're like, you know what? It's a beautiful day. Sometimes staff needs a break. So they'll tell them, hey, I need a break. Let's go for a walk. So then they go and walk on the track.
Now, do you have any other teachers in your family at all?
No, I do not.
That's one of the unique, because as we were talking about earlier, most of the time, I think yours just came from you being an aide and having that opportunity. Yes. That was basically your only opportunity, but a lot of people have teachers. Now, was there a teacher that when you went to school that inspired you, that like maybe I could be an aide because you saw maybe something in the school you went to? Nothing like that?
No, my grandmother who started raising, she was 68 when I was born. And by the time I was in high school, I was living with her full time. She always said to me, you need to be with kids. You need to work with kids. You need to be a teacher. And I, of course, got swept off my feet by this young Marine and decided I was going to have a family first. And I just procrastinated. But no, I was never around. I mean, I had teachers I loved. Mr. Ryburn was a counselor when I was growing up. And he was very kind and very considerate to me, understood that my home situation wasn't great. The speech and drama teacher, she was always wonderful to me, and the band directors, but nobody an academic teacher, no, there wasn't any academic teachers that I remember that were just like, oh, I love this person. So maybe even from the early beginning, I knew I needed to be in a special program. It wasn't ever going to be academics. It was going to be something else. I mean, I teach academics, but not academics.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we need to ask you a very important question, Crystal, because you get $750 from our sponsors. So
Yes.
we know how you teachers are, especially those special education teachers. Okay, you want to take care of your kiddos. Now we would suggest that you go take your husband on like a steak dinner or something and spend it on yourself, but
A little bit of it, at least a little bit of it.
At least a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
But do you have any ideas off the top of your head how you want to spend the money?
No, not off the top of my head. My daughter starts college next fall. So
Well, there goes all of it.
There goes all of it. Never mind. You don't even get the steak dinner. It's gone.
we might put some away for her. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it off the top of my head. I'll definitely be buying goldfish and gum because I supply that on a regular basis in my classroom. Maybe some popcorn, but I haven't really thought about it. It was still kind of abstract.
Well, as a parent of a kiddo that's in special education, I know the parents really, really appreciate teachers in general, but especially teachers like you for kiddos that have daily challenges. We thank you for that. And now it looks like you're stuck at least for 6 or 7 years until you got a Grantham running around there.
Okay, I'm down for that.
So don't go anywhere, Crystal.
I have no plans. This district has been very, very good to me.
Yes.
Very, very good to me.
Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you. Be at our April Teacher of the Month.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I will send her a thank you note too.
Now, the other cool thing is not only are you the April Teacher of the Month, you're now qualified for our Teacher of the Year award, which we'll be announcing next month in May at the end of the school year. So there's potential there that you could win another $750.
Nice.
For being,
and it all go to your kids' college fund.
All of it. Yeah. All of it. Goldfish, bubblegum, and college tuition. Done.
Yep.
It's all spent. Already
Sounds
spent.
good.
Well, again, congratulations to you, and thank you so much to everybody who's been nominating teachers. We appreciate that. Also, thanks to our sponsors of our Teacher of the Year program, Night Furniture and Mattress, Pediatric Dentistry of Sherman, Parkway Buick GMC. We still have one more Teacher of the Month to have, right, for the month of May. So you can get your nominations in now, either at 931kmkt.com or madrock1025.com. We'll see you next month.